Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
To our final episode of the lesson series, our on-course playing lesson.
Yes, sir.
So we've kind of hit all the areas so far. We've done some work on the range, worked on your full swing, worked on your low hook miss, right?
Correct.
We've done some short game stuff, a lot of short game stuff.
Yeah.
Worked on pitch shots from 20 yards and out. We've done some little chip shots, green side chip shots, some bunker shots. What area are you feeling best about so far
I
with
think
what we've done?
I think with what we did on the short game with regards to kind of all the short pitches and chips, trying to dial in my consistency, I feel like that's really made a difference. I feel more comfortable out there playing now. So.
Okay. Cool. So distance control.
Yeah.
We worked a lot on that as far as honing in on a particular area with the hula hoop, all that.
Exactly.
So you're feeling better with all that. Good.
Yeah.
Good. What we're going to dive into first here today is we're out here on the course today. We'll be playing with you a little bit. So
Okay.
one of the first areas I want to dive into is sort of the mental approach to the game. Not just the emotional mental part of it, but also the strategic mental part of it. Okay, so first thing we'll start at here today is we've got long par 4, right? So driver hole.
Yep.
What is one of the first things that comes to your mind when you step up to a hole like this, where you need your driver and you see the fairway, everything in front of you? What's the first thing you see when you see this hole?
I kind of just try and pick a spot out there and aim for that.
Okay. So you're just picking a spot out, and then you picking a small, just picking
Uh,
high, you picking low.
Kind of just in the middle, not necessarily high or low, but just something that's out there that
Okay.
you can aim at.
So your typical shot shape's right to left. So you're playing this fits that
Yeah, it does.
shot shape, this hole, right? So it's comfortable to your eye.
Mhm.
What is your aiming spot here?
So I probably aim at the pine tree that's in the middle to the right side.
Okay, right middle pine. Good, good. Anything else you're thinking about before you step up?
I know there's out of bounds right, but that's about it. Nothing else
Okay.
really. Just lining
Cool.
up correctly.
So that's kind of where I like to start as far as going through a mental checklist on the tee box. It doesn't have to be a 5-minute process. It's a real quick, 1, 2, 3. Then get into your pre-shot routine. So it's more of a mental checklist. So the first thing I typically do is, okay, I take a look at what's in front of me. Are there any hazards? No. Okay.
Right.
Are there any out of bounds? Yes. So I've got out of bounds right. I've got trees to the left. Got a pretty narrow landing spot. And it's a long hole. So okay, there's 3 checklists right there. I need my driver. I want to favor the left side of the fairway to avoid the out of bounds on the right. And if I miss one, miss it left, I'm still making par. If I'm gonna have a really tough time making par, re-teeing from the tee box if I hit it out of bounds to the right. Correct.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's checklist number 1. All right. Second checklist that I go through real quick mentally is where I'm going to tee that ball up on the tee box, right?
Right.
So good rule of thumb. Do you have any consistency in where you tee it up?
No, not really.
Not really?
Just wherever I
Okay.
feel comfortable for
So
that
you're
hole.
typically a right to left
Correct.
ball flight.
Yeah.
Sorry, left. Yeah, right to
Yeah,
left.
right to
Right to left. So what I have to always teach my students, you got your ball on you?
Yeah.
So for right to left ball flight, I like to have them favor this left side of the tee box here,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Right.
Now the idea behind that is if I were to tee it up on this side for a draw, I've opened up much more of the fairway for that particular shot shape, right?
Right.
If I were to set up over here for a right to left shot shape, I've now, first thing I'm seeing is the out of bounds, right?
The car path.
Right. So if I'm setting up on the left side here, I have opened up so much more of the fairway for that shot shape. It's going to make life a lot easier, right?
Right.
Step up and do the converse of that. If I'm going to hit a big fade into a draw hole, if I set up here, I'm done.
Yeah, you're done.
Right? I'm not seeing anything. All I'm seeing is trees, right? So that's one of the checklists I'd like to get you in the habit of doing.
Okay.
Another good habit I like to get into, say I'm going to hit a draw here, is my approach to the golf ball. Okay, this is one thing I like to have all my students do is do your pre-shot routine, whatever it is you like to do. We'll work on when we get out there a little more.
Okay.
Mine is just a little 1-2, and then I do a pull one. But the big thing I really like my students to do is when they walk up to the golf ball, I like to have them walk up to the ball with the club in their right hand.
Okay.
All right. The idea behind that, when I walk up to the ball with the club in my right hand, I'm seeing more of my target line. Okay, I'm seeing more of the fairway. I have more of the fairway in front of me when I walk up with my right hand. Too many people I see come up, both hands on, they're not even looking at the fairway, they get set up. Now they're doing this number to look out to the fairway. Now what happens when you do that? You're coming out of your posture, giving yourself a false sense of alignment, right?
Okay.
So, just one little tip I like to see my students do, walk up with the club in their right hand, look down your target line and get set up that way.
Okay.
All right, this is going to help you see a lot more of the fairway, get better aligned, and hopefully lead some more straighter shots.
Yeah,
all right,
definitely.
we want to be lined up. We don't have not lined up right, and we've already started off.
Exactly.
Right. Cool. Any thoughts, concerns about anything else we want to do with that?
Well, I know I talked about like picking a spot. What do you usually do? Pick like a background spot or something in the middle of the fairway, or pick a spot in front of the ball?
Sure. I like to pick targets that are high up
Okay.
in the distance personally. Now that's just visually for me. I like seeing something high.
Okay.
It's easier for me to
Kinda
dial it in and visualize. A lot of people, do the aim small, miss small theory, where you pick a real tiny target. I know we did that
right.
a lot
for
with the
sure,
short
yeah.
game stuff, which I think is easier. I think it's a little tougher out here, but definitely useful. That's the route you want to go.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah, sounds good.